In just a few weeks, voters across Texas will consider statewide Proposition 1. If approved, a portion of the state's oil and natural gas production tax would go to the state highway fund. That would direct about $1.4 billion to the Texas Department of Transportation the first year alone, and the amount is projected to increase over the next few years. It's an important vote because it's your money, and it would pay to fix and build the roads you drive on every day. But it's only a portion of what TxDOT says it needs to keep up with growth. TxDOT says that will take about $5 billion a year. That's $3 billion for new highway construction and $1 billion for maintenance. The other billion would go to the state's energy sectors, those areas producing a lot of oil and gas, like Karnes County. That's 2 hours south of Austin. KXAN's Josh Hinkle takes an in-depth look so you can decide if this is where you want to spend a large portion of your money.
They're Karnes County's form of growing pains. Small rural highways crumbling away every day.
Gradually get beat up little by little.
Jeremy Hernandez is part of the population increase in the last few years, setting up his shop behind the wheel.
Accidents happen. Not what you want to do is wake up in the morning and then be involved in an accident.
TxDOT has tried to make tax dollars stretch, tackling traffic problems by widening roads and creating 2-mile-long passing lanes for drivers to safely get around these semi-trucks. Hundreds of them each week.
The reason they're all rolling in, there are about 5,000 of those oil wells now. In 2008, there were only 100, and they only produced about 20,000 barrels of oil each month. Now, that number is 6.2 million.
Which means a lot of money for the state. And a lot of trucks to haul heavy machinery and the oil itself. In the year after the boom began, the number of vehicle accidents reported here rose from 130 a year to more than 400.
People hit a pothole and have a blowout and then go off to the side of the road, or it could be the tractor trailer loaded with crude oil rolling over.
Tough to blame it all on the oil business, but locals say it did get worse as traffic increased.
Seems like it's a weekly event. Have to be alert, you have to be a defensive driver.
Accidents are a lot more common than they used to be.
Last year, 11 people died on these roads. And while accidents might be good for Hernandez's business, that's a statistic he hates to hear.
Rather than be safe on the roads, yes.
In Karnes County, Josh Hinkle, KXAN News.
And TxDOT's need goes far beyond Karnes County. Again, most of it is highway maintenance and new construction across the state, even here in Austin's heavy traffic. So what happens if voters don't approve statewide Prop 1? What's the cost of doing nothing? The Texas Transportation Institute says drivers pay an average of $343 a year in additional repair costs because of poorly maintained roads. Texas drivers also spend an extra 37 hours in traffic delays annually, costing the average household $1,500 a year. And it's predicted that could be $5,000 a year in 20 years. But there are other funding ideas out there, and many say Prop 1 is just not the way to go. Critics point to bad financial decisions by TxDOT and lawmakers in the past. That's tonight on KXAN News at 10. And this weekend, join us for a special edition of State of Texas In Depth as Josh continues traveling the state to give you a closer look at our transportation problems. That's Sunday morning at 8:30, right before Meet the Press.